Welcome to the brand new chapter of Dead by Daylight. Laughter in the Fog. This chapter brings with it a brand new killer known as the Clown. The Clown brings with it a plethora of weapons with its power. Bag of Tricks. Press and hold the secondary power button to open the bag of tricks. Move the cursor towards one of the 4 available gag weapons in order to select it. Selecting the gag weapon will equip it to your primary weapon slot. Once the gag weapon is put onto its cooldown or unequipped, the normal weapon is re-equipped. The Popcorn Bazooka is a large gun that fires clouds of popcorn. Holding the primary attack button will charge a shot. Once the shot is charged, a small cone burst of popcorn is fired. Multiple survivors can be hit. If any survivor is hit by this shot, their aura will be shown to you for 2 seconds every 10 seconds until they take the time to clean up. The Popcorn Bazooka then goes on a 30-second cooldown. The cleanup action takes 5 seconds, has its own animation, and can be done by other survivors. The Pie Toss is a round projectile used to damage and slow victims. Holding the primary attack button charges a pie toss. The toss may be released at any time during the charge, but the longer it is charged, the further it will go. The endpoint will also give it an arch, allowing it to stay in the air slightly longer. The pie toss, once thrown, travels directly in front of you. The pie will be stopped by either hitting an object, survivor, or simply because it's traveled as far as possible. Once the pie hits a survivor, the survivor is damaged and are inflicted with the blind and hindered status effect until they take the time to clean up. The pie is unable to down survivors. The pie toss then goes on a 25-second cooldown. The Clown Horn is an auditory weapon used to reveal new prey. Holding the primary attack button charges a massive blow of the horn. Once the horn is blown, all survivors are automatically given an easy skill check to complete. This skill check does not change the progression of their current action, if any is being made. Any survivor that fails this skill check bursts out into quick manic laughter, revealing their aura to you for 5 seconds. If no survivor fails the skill check, your aura is shown to all survivors for 5 seconds. The Clown Horn then goes on a 60-second cooldown. The Cotton Candy Ray Gun can only be used on survivors that are in the dying state. Holding the primary attack button fires a beam that locks onto the survivor. After 10 seconds of exposure, the survivor is wrapped in a cocoon of cotton candy. The cocoon progresses the survivor's hook stages, but do not activate any abilities or perks related to hooks. The survivor does not begin to struggle once put into the second phase. While in the cocoon, the anti-camping meter still functions the same as always. For the cocooned survivor to be decocoonified, another survivor must release them. The action of releasing the survivor takes 15 seconds, but can be increased with the help of other survivors. The release meter is not changed if interrupted. The freed survivor is inflicted by Sugar Rush for 5 seconds. Any other survivors that release them are exhausted until they take the time to clean up. The Cotton Candy Ray Gun then goes on a 40-second cooldown. Someone inflicted with Sugar Rush is given a 10% haste status effect for the stated time, and then is inflicted by the exhausted and hindered status effect for double that amount of time. The Clown brings with it 3 brand new perks. Dummy. Once a survivor has been placed on a hook, any survivor that comes within 18 meters of that hook will hear your terror radius. Only 4 hooks may be affected by this perk at once. If this perk affects another hook beyond the maximum number, the most recent affected hook will no longer be affected, and the newest will take its place. Knock my block off. Hitting a survivor with a basic attack marks them as your next victim. Up to 4 survivors may be marked at one time. The next basic attack that hits a marked survivor is guaranteed to down them. If a marked survivor is downed, all marked survivors are unmarked, and this perk goes on cooldown. Cooldown, 60 seconds. Hex Clown Shoes. Beginning a chase with a survivor lights a dull totem, activating the hex. While the hex is active, all survivors outside of chase suffer a 15% hindered status effect. This effect persists for 12 seconds after the survivor is put into chase. The effect returns after 12 seconds of the survivor being out of chase. When the survivor that caused the totem to be lit enters another chase, the hex totem becomes dull again, and this perk deactivates. If the hex totem is cleansed, this perk is permanently disabled. This brand new chapter will be available never.